What if the reality you've been living is not the complete picture? What if there were forces subtly shaping your perceptions, influencing what you believe to be true? Imagine if you could peel back those layers and see reality for what it truly is. Declassified government documents can offer glimpses into unexpected areas of research, and this CIA document is no exception. The CIA's exploration into remote viewing and altered states of consciousness suggests a deep curiosity about the nature of reality. Esoteric traditions and quantum physics independently suggest our reality is not fixed. Could the CIA document bridge science and ancient wisdom? Most people are unaware of the possibility that their minds have untapped potential and reality itself is malleable. This unawareness keeps us trapped in a limited perception of reality, preventing us from living fully and authentically. But the information within the CIA document and exploring consciousness can unlock hidden abilities. Imagine the power you'd wield if you understood how to consciously co-create your reality. The key lies in understanding this specific declassified CIA document. In this video, we're going to explore the implications of a declassified CIA document on understanding reality. We will dissect the document, examine links to esoteric wisdom, see scientific validation, and explore techniques to explore consciousness. By the end of this video, you'll have a new understanding of the universe and the power to shape your experience. So let's dive into this eye-opening exploration. What if the government knew more about the power of your mind than you do? What if they had been secretly exploring ways to unlock hidden abilities for decades? A declassified CIA document suggests exactly that the agency wasn't just focused on Cold War tactics, but also on the inner landscapes of human consciousness and the very nature of reality itself. This document reveals the CIA's serious investigation into something called the Gateway Process. The Gateway Process is not a weapons system or a covert operation in the traditional sense. It's a detailed exploration and specific methodology for altering human consciousness to achieve expanded awareness and tap into different dimensions of reality. At the heart of the Gateway Process lies a specific training system designed to alter consciousness and explore different dimensions. Imagine a structured program developed with government funding, aimed at teaching individuals how to leave their physical bodies, perceive events remotely, and even potentially influence the flow of time. Think about the implications if the CIA believed such things were possible. This wasn't just idle speculation, as they invested time and resources in its study. What does this tell us about the true nature of reality, and why would an agency like the CIA be so interested in something so seemingly esoteric? But what exactly is the Gateway Process? The Gateway Process, as outlined in the declassified CIA document, is a system of exercises and techniques aimed at achieving altered states of consciousness, a carefully constructed protocol intended to take individuals beyond the limitations of their ordinary, waking awareness. It is a structured and multifaceted approach to consciousness exploration. Think of it as a detailed instruction manual for hacking your own mind, using specific frequencies and carefully calibrated exercises to bypass the normal filters of perception. The process combines techniques like meditation, visualization, and affirmations with concepts from quantum physics to unlock human potential. These aren't just random spiritual practices, but a system of exercises, all interwoven with scientific concepts, designed to take individuals to a place that goes beyond typical human understanding. The techniques are also designed to harmonize brainwave frequencies, allowing for a state of whole brain synchronization that promotes heightened awareness and access to non-ordinary states of consciousness, bridging the gap between science and esoteric practices. What were the potential benefits, according to the CIA? The document suggests that the CIA believed that the Gateway Process could allow individuals to access higher states of awareness, remote view distant locations and events, and even, potentially, achieve out-of-body experiences, also known as astral projection. The agency saw this as a way to gain a strategic advantage, gather intelligence, and even potentially influence events from a distance. Consider the possibilities. The document literally states, experiences with the gateway process suggest that it is a means of altering consciousness so as to enable individuals to perceive and interact with the world in ways that transcend normal sensory limitations. The very fact that the CIA entertained these possibilities is a testament to their potential significance. But here's the truth. This isn't just about government secrets or potential military applications. It's about understanding the fundamental nature of consciousness itself, questioning the limitations of our physical senses, and exploring the possibility that our minds have far more power than we ever imagined. What if the CIA was just scratching the surface of what is possible? Why is this important, and what does this mean to us? The very fact the CIA was invested in this should make you think. The implications of the CIA's interest in the gateway process for understanding the nature of consciousness are profound. This suggests consciousness extends beyond your brain, which could influence reality. It challenges the conventional scientific view that consciousness is solely a product of brain activity, confined within the skull. If the gateway process is indeed effective, it suggests that consciousness is a fundamental aspect of the universe, capable of interacting with reality in ways we don't yet fully understand. This could revolutionize our understanding of everything from healing and personal growth to the very fabric of space and time. Imagine a world where we can consciously tap into this potential. Regardless of CIA intentions, these abilities can be tapped into for personal evolution. The agency's interest implies that the potential for humans to tap into these abilities and expand their awareness is real, regardless of their original intentions. The power to access higher states of consciousness, to perceive reality beyond the physical senses, and to potentially influence the world around us lies dormant within each of us, waiting to be awakened. Isn't that worth exploring? So start with meditation, even 10 minutes a day. Track your dreams, question everything. Now, this may all seem a bit far-fetched, right? This may seem like science fiction, but stay with me. Many of the concepts are echoed in ancient texts and traditions. The gateway process, with its emphasis on altered states of consciousness, remote viewing, and out-of-body experiences, might seem like a product of modern science and technology. But what if the CIA was simply rediscovering ancient wisdom, repackaging it in a modern, scientific framework? Many of the core concepts underlying the gateway process are echoed in ancient esoteric traditions that have explored the nature of consciousness and reality for centuries. Was this intentional? Did the CIA tap into thousands of years of wisdom? In the next section, we will dive deeper and explore the ancient connections. What if the path to unlocking the secrets of reality has been hiding in plain sight, not just in classified government documents, but also in the wisdom of ancient traditions? The CIA's gateway process, seemingly a product of modern science, shares fundamental principles and goals with ancient esoteric traditions, suggesting a hidden, underlying understanding of reality that has been pursued for millennia. Both the gateway process and these esoteric practices aim to achieve altered states of consciousness and manipulate reality through mental techniques. Both seek to transcend ordinary perception through specific mental disciplines. But is this merely a coincidence? The very idea of a government intelligence agency delving into practices often associated with mysticism and spirituality is astounding, isn't it? Did the CIA consciously draw upon esoteric knowledge in developing the gateway process? Or was this a case of independent discovery, a parallel path to the same destination? Let's delve into these connections, starting with Hermeticism. Hermeticism, with its roots stretching back to ancient Egypt and the legendary figure of Hermes Trismegistus, teaches that the universe is fundamentally mental. The all is mind. as the Kybalion, a key Hermetic text, states. Consider the principle of mentalism, the idea that the universe is essentially a mental construct. How does this relate to the gateway process? Both systems emphasize the power of thought to shape reality. Hermeticism suggests that our thoughts and beliefs directly influence our experience of the world, while the gateway process seeks to harness this power through specific mental techniques. The gateway process's use of visualization, for example, mirrors Hermetic practices of mental creation, where practitioners actively imagine and create desired outcomes in their minds, influencing their reality. Think of it like this. If the universe is mental, then our minds are the tools we use to shape it. Similarly, the gateway process shares intriguing parallels with Gnostic teachings. Gnosticism, a collection of ancient religious ideas and systems, emphasizes the importance of escaping the illusion of the material world and accessing higher realms of consciousness. Much like the gateway process aims to break free from sensory limitations, Gnosticism seeks to transcend the perceived limitations of the physical realm. The Gnostic concept of gnosis, or direct, experiential knowledge, is central to this pursuit, aligning with the gateway process's goal of achieving altered states that provide access to deeper truths. Gnosis, or direct knowing, is not about intellectual understanding, but about a profound, personal experience of the divine. Consider the similarities between Gnostic practices of meditation and contemplation and the gateway process's techniques for achieving altered states. Both involve quieting the mind, focusing attention, and seeking direct experience of a higher reality. What if the gateway process is simply a modern, secularized version of the Gnostic quest for gnosis? Now, let's turn our attention to yogic traditions. Yoga, originating in ancient India, offers another fascinating parallel to the gateway process. Yoga aims to awaken Kundalini, a dormant energy believed to reside at the base of the spine, similar to the gateway process's attempt to unlock hidden potential within the human mind. Yoga describes energy channels, nadis, and centers, chakras, that influence consciousness, concepts potentially relevant to understanding the mechanisms behind the gateway process. The yogic model of chakras and nadis provides a framework for understanding energy flow and its relationship to consciousness, and some researchers suggest that the gateway process may tap into these same energy systems. Furthermore, the gateway process's techniques for focusing attention and controlling energy resonate with yogic practices like meditation and pranayama, or breath control. Consider how the gateway process utilizes specific breathing techniques to alter consciousness, mirroring the yogic practice of pranayama to manipulate energy flow and achieve specific mental states. It is interesting to think how ancient wisdom is being rediscovered in this modern, scientific process. This convergence suggests that the potential for altering consciousness and shaping reality is not just a theoretical concept, but a practical possibility that has been explored by both ancient traditions and modern government agencies. This isn't just about dusty old texts or classified documents. It's about the potential that lies dormant within each of us. So, how can you begin to explore these concepts in your own life? Start with simple practices like mindful breathing, visualization, or studying relevant texts from the esoteric traditions we've discussed. Read the Kybalion, explore Gnostic texts, practice basic yoga and meditation. Explore this yourself. Consider trying a simple guided meditation, focusing on visualizing a desired outcome. Connect it to both the gateway process's visualization techniques and Hermetic principles of mental creation. Focus on your intention, feel the emotions associated with your desired outcome, and visualize it as vividly as possible. Now, this may all seem unbelievable, right? This may seem far-fetched, but consider direct experience. The key is to experiment and see for yourself. Journal your experience and track any changes in your perception or reality. Record your dreams and look for patterns. The results may surprise you. What you might find is something so compelling that your own experience is enough to make you start questioning reality. The connections to esoteric traditions are interesting now. This shows a trend through human history, but what does science have to say? What could modern science, especially quantum physics, tell us about all of this? Can quantum physics explain the gateway process and the seemingly magical practices of esoteric traditions? In the next section, we will explore the scientific validations. But what if quantum physics is the key to unlocking the secrets of the universe and the power of the mind? What if the seemingly bizarre world of quantum mechanics isn't just about tiny particles, but about the fundamental nature of reality itself and the role of consciousness in shaping it? Quantum physics reveals a universe that is far stranger and more mysterious than we ever imagined, challenging classical physics' view of a deterministic, objective reality. It's not just about atoms, it's about the nature of reality itself. So, does quantum physics legitimize the CIA's exploration of altered states of consciousness and the esoteric practices associated with them? Or does it simply highlight the depth of reality's mystery? To begin, let's consider the observer effect in quantum mechanics. The observer effect essentially states that the very act of observing influences the behavior of quantum particles. In other words, consciousness may not be as separate from reality as we think. The double-slit experiment is a classic example of this. In this experiment, particles are fired at a screen with two slits in it. When the particles are not observed, they pass through both slits and create an interference pattern on the screen. However, when the particles are observed, they pass through only one slit and create a different pattern. The particles behave differently depending on whether they are observed. Think about that. This seemingly bizarre experiment aligns with the gateway process by demonstrating how mental focus creates a tangible, real-world impact. This may be hard to grasp, but if how you measure something changes its behavior, how much of your reality is altered just by looking at it? Next, let's elaborate on quantum entanglement, where two particles become linked and share the same fate, regardless of the distance between them. Quantum entanglement shows the interconnectedness of reality. If you change a property of one particle, the linked particle instantly changes as well, even if they are light years apart. This challenges classical notions of space and time. Entanglement defies our traditional understanding of physics, specifically the classical laws of space and time. What's more, esoteric traditions believe in an interconnected consciousness that aligns with quantum entanglement. Many believe that quantum entanglement is the scientific basis for interconnected consciousness. This aligns perfectly with the Hermetic idea that all is connected. Now, let's consider the concept of non-locality, where events can influence each other instantaneously, regardless of distance. Quantum non-locality defies space and time. This challenges our understanding of causality, because if something can happen instantaneously regardless of distance, it means that cause and effect are not always linear and sequential. The CIA's remote viewing experiments attempted to tap into this non-local consciousness. What if some people, through training or natural ability, can access information from anywhere in the universe, regardless of distance? It seems impossible, but quantum physics says it may be possible. But here's the mind-bending part. Some interpretations of quantum mechanics propose that consciousness is fundamental to the existence of the universe. What if consciousness created the universe? Quantum consciousness theories, along with integrated information theory, argue that consciousness is a fundamental aspect of existence. This means that reality is ultimately mental in nature. The Hermetic principle of mentalism echoes this, arguing that the all is mind, and everything originates from a universal consciousness. Think about it like this. If the universe is fundamentally mental, then our thoughts, beliefs, and intentions have a direct impact on the nature of reality. This is where it gets really interesting. If quantum mechanics is correct, our thoughts may have more power than we thought. If consciousness can influence reality at the quantum level, then our thoughts, beliefs, and intentions may have a more significant impact on our lives than we realize. This means that we must be aware of our thoughts and beliefs. We must consciously choose positivity and intention. We must constantly challenge our own limitations. This is where practices like meditation and visualization allows us to create our own reality. If the all is mind, what world are you creating? So, how do we apply this knowledge? Try this. Visualize your desired outcome. Close your eyes and spend a few minutes each day imagining what you want to create. The more you do this, the more real it becomes. Connect it to the observer effect and the power of intention. The key is to cultivate positive emotions and challenge limits in beliefs. But here's the thing. These concepts can be misinterpreted and misused, so responsible and ethical behavior is paramount. Do not manipulate these ideas with harm intended. Focus on personal growth and positive change, and stay away from ego-driven pursuits. Be sure to approach this with responsibility and ethical awareness. However, it is important to maintain your common sense. Explore and experiment, but maintain your common sense. Not everything is as it seems. Track your experiences with a journal. Document your thoughts and any change you may find. Remember, this is a journey of discovery, not a get-rich-quick scheme. Quantum physics is a framework, but our scientific understanding is still incomplete. Many mysteries remain. So, our esoteric practices and CIA experiments tapping into something science can't measure yet. And are there any consequences to this intrusion? But what are the risks to altered states of consciousness? In the next section, we will delve into the potential dangers and ethical dilemmas. But what if unlocking the secrets of reality comes at a price? What if manipulating consciousness and exploring altered states carries inherent risks and ethical dilemmas, challenging the previously empowering tone? Both the CIA's gateway process and esoteric traditions, despite their potential benefits, could open doors to unforeseen consequences and unintended manipulations. Did the CIA know they were opening Pandora's box with their gateway process? It is important to approach these powerful techniques with caution, discernment, and a deep understanding of potential pitfalls. Are we ready to wield the power of consciousness, or are we playing with forces beyond our control? One of the primary risks is the potential for psychological destabilization and mental health issues associated with prolonged or unsupervised exploration of altered states. Altered states of consciousness can be a Pandora's box for people with mental health vulnerabilities. Intense meditation, psychedelic use, and other practices can trigger psychosis, dissociation, and other mental health challenges, especially in individuals with pre-existing conditions. These intense experiences can cause psychosis, delusions, paranoia, and detachment from reality. There are countless stories of people who became mentally unstable with intense spiritual practices or uncontrolled psychedelic use. Therefore, it's critical to seek guidance from qualified mental health professionals when exploring these practices, particularly for individuals with pre-existing conditions. For those with mental health conditions, proceed with great caution and always consult with a psychiatrist. It is better to be safe than sorry. Beyond psychological risks, there's also the potential for manipulation and control, both by external forces and by one's own ego, when exploring these altered states. Who is controlling you when you're altering your state of consciousness? The CIA's exploration of the gateway process had questionable motivations, including potential mind control, espionage, and psychological warfare. Esoteric traditions can be misused for personal gain, power, or manipulation of others. Cults and black magic are examples of this misuse, where individuals exploit spiritual practices for their own selfish ends. It's important to maintain critical thinking and skepticism, even when experiencing profound or seemingly transformative experiences. Continue to practice critical thinking even when profound experiences occur. Question everything, including your own motivations and beliefs. Adding another layer of complexity are the ethical implications of potentially accessing information or influencing events in the past or future through altered states. Should we influence past and future events through altered states of consciousness? This raises profound questions about free will and causality. Can we change the past? Can we really see the future? And if we can, what are the consequences of interfering with the timeline? There is still an ethical obligation when traveling through time and space. The concept of karma, or ethical responsibility, applies even to actions performed in altered states or across different timelines. Actions in altered states still have consequences. Approach these concepts with compassion, wisdom, and interconnectedness. Understand that everything you do, even in an altered state, has ripple effects throughout the universe. It's important to remember that these practices are not inherently bad, but they are not inherently good either. Like most things, there are both positive and negative outcomes. The key is to approach them with awareness, responsibility, and a strong ethical compass. To safely explore consciousness, we must be self-aware and ethical. Develop a strong foundation of self-awareness, ethical principles, and a commitment to personal growth and service to others. So, how can we mitigate these risks? Try journaling or meditating to improve self-awareness. Journaling helps you to understand your thoughts and emotions, while meditation allows you to quiet your mind and connect with your inner self. It is important to set boundaries before pursuing altered states. Setting clear intentions and boundaries before engaging in any altered state practice helps ensure that you are approaching these experiences with a clear purpose and a sense of control. You need a qualified guide. Do not pursue this path alone. Seeking guidance from qualified teachers, mentors, or therapists who can provide support and accountability is crucial. Consider incorporating shadow work into your routine. Acknowledge your own flaws. Shadow work is an exercise that helps one see their flaws. Shadow work involves identifying and acknowledging your own negative traits, fears, and limiting beliefs. This can be a challenging but rewarding process, as it allows you to integrate these shadow aspects and become a more whole and authentic person. Write down your negative traits and explore their effects on your relationships and life. By understanding your shadow side, you can prevent it from unconsciously influencing your behavior and decisions. It's okay to have flaws. What matters is that you don't ignore them. Avoid ego inflation. Maintain humility, a sense of grounding, and commitment to continuous learning. The spiritual path can be a breeding ground for ego inflation, where individuals become arrogant and deluded about their own abilities and importance. Ego can lead to delusion, arrogance, and harmful behavior. It's important to maintain humility, groundedness, and a commitment to continuous learning. Spiritual bypassing can be used to avoid dealing with your trauma. Do not use spirituality to avoid dealing with difficult emotions or unresolved trauma. Ethics and actions are crucial in your spiritual path. Integrate spiritual insights with practical action and ethical conduct. Above all, maintain your critical thinking even when you have profound experiences. Question all. Verify the truth. Research different perspectives, question assumptions, and verify information before accepting it as truth. Rely on your intuition, but also seek feedback and test your experiences against reality. Just because something feels true doesn't necessarily mean it is true. We must understand potential pitfalls to practice these techniques responsibly. As we delve deeper into these concepts, are we prepared for unseen consequences that may arise? Can we shape a future we can be proud of, or are we creating something to be feared? In the next section, we will explore a world that harnesses consciousness in a moral and responsible way. Imagine a future where humanity has collectively embraced the responsible exploration of consciousness. A world where compassion, empathy, and a deep understanding of interconnectedness guide our actions, leading to a flourishing and harmonious society. But what if this power fell into the wrong hands? What if altered states of consciousness and advanced technologies were weaponized, used for control and oppression, plunging us into a dystopian nightmare far beyond the pages of science fiction? The future is not predetermined. It is a tapestry woven from the choices we make today. Will we choose the path of enlightenment, where consciousness serves as a catalyst for healing, innovation, and global unity? Or will we succumb to fear and division, allowing this immense power to be twisted for malevolent purposes? What specific advancements and societal shifts would characterize a future where consciousness is used for the betterment of all, a future we can be proud to leave for generations to come? Picture a healthcare system transformed. Imagine healthcare that harnesses the power of the mind to heal illness, enhance well-being, and even extend lifespan. Meditation, visualization, and other consciousness-based techniques become as important as traditional medicine, working in synergy to address the root causes of disease. Studies already show the profound impact of mindfulness on reducing stress, boosting the immune system, and promoting cellular regeneration. But what if we could go even further, using consciousness to directly influence the body's healing processes at a subatomic level? The placebo effect is a glimpse into this potential, demonstrating the mind's undeniable power to trigger physiological changes and accelerate recovery. Consider the concept of quantum healing, the idea that we can address illness at the level of energy and information, influencing the quantum field to restore balance and harmony within the body. This is not about replacing conventional medicine, but about unlocking another layer of healing potential, empowering individuals to take an active role in their own well-being. What if we could eradicate diseases simply through the power of our minds? Envision an education system that unlocks the full potential of every student. Schools help each student unlock their unique genius through mind-based learning. Mindfulness and meditation become core curriculum, improving focus, attention, and emotional regulation. Students learn to quiet the noise of the outside world, accessing deeper levels of creativity, intuition, and inner wisdom. Many artists and scientists already use altered states to unlock incredible creativity. What if we could intentionally cultivate these states in a safe and supportive environment, fostering a generation of innovators and problem solvers? Consider holotropic breathwork, a powerful technique for expanding awareness and promoting personal growth. Holotropic breathwork will unlock new levels of awareness. By inducing altered states of consciousness through controlled breathing, individuals can access repressed emotions, release limiting beliefs, and gain profound insights into themselves and the nature of reality. This isn't just about academic achievement. It's about cultivating well-rounded individuals with a strong sense of purpose, empathy, and a deep connection to their own inner resources. What if schools nurtured not just intellect, but also the inherent wisdom within each child? Imagine a world where communication transcends the limitations of language. Telepathy creates instant empathy, bridging cultural divides. Remote viewing is used to solve global mysteries and promote understanding. What if we could tap into a global consciousness network, where thoughts, feelings, and experiences are shared in real time, fostering unprecedented levels of understanding and connection? Consider the power of collective intelligence, the idea that a group of individuals can achieve more than the sum of their parts through shared awareness and collaboration. Imagine a global consciousness network where we all share experiences. This could allow us to address complex global challenges like climate change and poverty with unprecedented speed and effectiveness, harnessing the collective wisdom of humanity to create a more sustainable and equitable world. What if we could solve global problems simply by thinking together? Now, envision sustainable and harmonious societies. Technology and consciousness combine to solve climate change. Our global economy will evolve into a regenerative system that benefits all. Imagine if our minds could heal damaged ecosystems. This future is one where humanity lives in harmony with nature, addressing environmental challenges, promoting social justice, and creating a more equitable world for all. Consider ecopsychology, a field that explores the profound connection between human well-being and the health of the natural world. Ecopsychology can create a harmony between people and the planet. By fostering a deeper sense of connection to nature, we can inspire individuals to become stewards of the environment, working to protect and restore our planet for future generations. What if we could directly influence weather patterns, clean up pollution, and restore ecosystems through the power of our collective consciousness? This positive future is within reach, but only through intentional action and choices. It is not a utopian fantasy, but a real possibility that can be created through conscious action and ethical choices today. We are all co-creators. Take responsibility for your thoughts and actions. What we focus on, we empower. By taking responsibility for our thoughts, beliefs, and intentions, we can consciously shape our reality, creating a ripple effect of positive change that extends far beyond our individual lives. Practice compassion and mindfulness. Support companies doing the right thing. Cultivate compassion, practice mindfulness, support ethical businesses, and advocate for social and environmental justice. Every act of kindness, every conscious choice, every effort to create a more just and sustainable world contributes to the realization of this positive future. Now, imagine yourself living in this ideal future. How can you embody that ideal person now? Write a letter to your current self from your future self. What advice would you give? Envision yourself living in this positive future, embodying the qualities and values that are needed to create it. Write a letter to your present self from your future self, describing the positive changes that have occurred in your life and in the world. Then, start today. Be the change you wish to see. Embody these qualities and values in your daily life, starting today. There will be obstacles, so continue to expand your understanding. Creating this positive future will require overcoming many challenges, including entrenched power structures, limiting beliefs, and ethical dilemmas. Perseverance is key. We must continue to learn and grow to make the vision a reality. But by maintaining a commitment to perseverance, resilience, and continuous learning and growth, we can navigate these challenges and create a future worthy of our highest aspirations. Creating this future depends on a fundamental shift in values. It requires a fundamental shift in human values and a collective commitment to ethical principles. Each of us has a critical role to play in shaping the future we want. What specific actions can we take, individually and collectively, to create this positive future and ensure that the power of consciousness is used for the betterment of all? But we're just scratching the surface. What we'll discover next is even more shocking. In the next section, we'll explore practical steps for creating the world we want to see. These actions are just the beginning of a larger journey, but just how do we put these things into action? The future we envision starts now. What concrete steps can we take today to make our positive vision a reality? This section will provide you with a toolkit of strategies, resources, and practices to actively shape your reality and contribute to a better world. This isn't just about dreaming, it's about doing. Here are practical tools for a better world. It all starts with a single step. Small changes create ripple effects that will positively shift the world. But how do we create this ripple effect? What are the most effective and accessible ways to integrate consciousness-based practices into our daily lives and contribute to a more positive future? Let's explore specific daily practices for cultivating mindfulness, emotional intelligence, and positive intention. Integrate consciousness into daily life with practical tools that will create results. Mindfulness increases awareness and reduces stress with breathing exercises. Take a moment each day to simply focus on your breath, noticing the sensation of each inhale and exhale. Body scan meditations can help you become more aware of your physical sensations, releasing tension and promoting relaxation. Even a short mindful walk, paying attention to the sights, sounds, and smells around you, can bring you into the present moment. You can find many guided meditations online that will assist you with this process. Practicing empathy, managing emotions, and improving communication skills are key elements in emotional intelligence. Try to understand others' perspectives, even when you disagree with them. Identify your own emotional triggers and develop healthy coping mechanisms for managing stress and difficult emotions. Practice active listening and non-violent communication to improve your relationships. Gratitude and compassion are key elements in setting your daily intentions. Each morning, take a few moments to set a positive intention for the day, focusing on what you want to create and experience. Express gratitude for the blessings in your life and look for opportunities to show compassion to others. Acts of kindness, no matter how small, can have a profound impact on the world around you. What if every person started their day with a compassionate intention? Living sustainably is critical to our positive future. Reduce your footprint. Embrace ethical consumption. Reduce your carbon footprint with energy conservation. Turn off lights when you leave a room, unplug electronics when you're not using them, and consider investing in energy-efficient appliances. Walk, bike, or use public transportation whenever possible, and explore options for carpooling or electric vehicles. Small changes in your daily habits can make a big difference over time. Only support companies who engage in ethical practices. Research the companies you support and choose products that are made with fair labor practices and sustainable materials. Avoid fast fashion and disposable goods, opting instead for durable, long-lasting items. Look for certifications like Fair Trade and B Corp, which indicate a commitment to ethical and environmental standards. Support ethical initiatives to create a more equal world. Donate to organizations that are working to address social and environmental challenges. Volunteer your time to support local causes and advocate for policies that promote justice and sustainability. Every action, no matter how small, can contribute to a more equitable and compassionate world. But here's the thing, it takes collective action to make a difference. Connection creates momentum. Join like-minded groups to create change. Engage in online and offline organizations who are working to create change. Find local groups focused on sustainability, social justice, or consciousness, and participate in their events and activities. Connect with others who share your values and passions, and work together to create a positive impact in your community. Activism creates change through protests and petitions. Participate in peaceful protests and demonstrations, sign petitions, and contact your elected officials to advocate for policies that support your values. Use your voice to speak out against injustice and inequality and support leaders who are committed to creating a better world. Our combined consciousness is a powerful catalyst for global change. Imagine a world where everyone is aligned with positive intention. There are many resources available to grow your consciousness and begin to change the world. You can find knowledge through books and websites. Explore books and websites on mindfulness, meditation, and altered states of consciousness. Courses and workshops can aid you in the creation of your better future. Attend workshops on personal growth, leadership, and social change. These resources can provide you with new insights, skills, and tools for creating a more positive future. Find and assist relevant organizations to forward our positive vision of the future. Support organizations that are working to create a more just and sustainable world. Our future requires action. It's not a passive concept. It requires action. Creating a positive future is not a passive process, but an active and ongoing commitment that requires continuous learning, growth, and adaptation. Find what actions create the most change for you. Experiment with different strategies and resources, finding what works best for you and integrating them into your daily life. What mindfulness techniques resonate most deeply with you? What ethical consumption choices can you easily incorporate into your routine? What communities and organizations align with your values and passions? Small wins inspire bigger changes to motivate you. Set small, achievable goals and celebrate successes along the way to maintain motivation and momentum. Acknowledge that there will be setbacks and challenges, but perseverance is the key. View obstacles as opportunities for growth and learning, and never give up on your vision for a better world. What if those setbacks are part of the plan? Create an action plan for change to create a positive impact in the world. This week, take a concrete step to integrate consciousness-based practices into your life, contribute to a more sustainable world, or connect with like-minded communities. Write your action plan and track your progress each step of the way. Share your plan with friends and family for support. Hold each other accountable and celebrate your successes together. These actions are just the beginning of a larger journey. We are all responsible for shaping our destiny and that of humanity. What fundamental shifts in consciousness are needed to create a truly sustainable and equitable world, and how can we accelerate this transformation? In our next section, we'll explore the possibility of a global awakening. We often hear about a coming golden age of enlightenment and global awakening. But what if, instead of a golden age, our awakening leads to a new dark age of misinformation and ethical decay? Increased awareness doesn't guarantee positive outcomes. It can create new avenues for exploitation and delusion. The surge in spiritual interest can attract exploitation, delusion, and harmful ideologies. Critical thinking is essential in navigating this potential spiritual dark age and avoiding the pitfalls of misinformation and manipulation. How can we safeguard against a potential spiritual dark age and ensure that the exploration of consciousness leads to genuine progress and positive transformation? How can the CIA document assist us, or does it foreshadow a deeper danger? History is filled with dark ages. Think about it. The collapse of Rome led to widespread confusion, misinformation, and a stagnation of knowledge. The loss of established institutions and traditional authority figures created a vacuum that was often filled by misinformation and charismatic but unethical leaders. Misinformation and propaganda were used to manipulate populations during these periods, often leading to devastating consequences. Consider the witch hunts of the early modern period, fueled by superstition and fear, or the rise of totalitarian regimes in the 20th century, built on carefully crafted narratives of hate and division. The rapid spread of information and the erosion of trust in traditional institutions could create similar challenges today. The proliferation of misinformation creates chaos and erodes trust, making it harder to discern truth from falsehood. What if this erosion of trust is deliberate? Entire societies can fall prey to spiritual bypassing. This hinders progress by masking deeper societal issues and preventing genuine solutions. Focusing solely on positive thinking or altered states can distract from addressing systemic injustices and inequalities. Positive thinking can distract from systematic injustices, preventing meaningful change. The commodification of spirituality can lead to superficial practices that lack depth and ethical grounding. The commercialization of spirituality creates shortcuts and superficial practices, often prioritizing profit over genuine transformation. Consider the rise of wellness culture, where self-care practices are often marketed as a substitute for addressing systemic issues like poverty, inequality, and lack of access to healthcare. Spiritual bypassing has been used to justify harmful actions, from ignoring the suffering of others to rationalizing oppressive systems. The key is to engage in spirituality without detaching from reality. Altered states can be weaponized. Mind control is a frightening possibility, and we must be aware of the potential for altered states of consciousness to be used for malicious purposes, such as mind control, manipulation, or the spread of harmful ideologies. The CIA's potential interest in the Gateway process may have stemmed from these purposes. Think about it. The CIA's intentions may have been nefarious. Citing examples of unethical experiments in mind control and psychological warfare, such as Project MK Ultra, highlights the dangers of unchecked power and the need for ethical oversight. Cults use altered states to manipulate their followers, employing techniques like sleep deprivation, sensory overload, and repetitive chanting to break down resistance and instill unquestioning obedience. Maintaining a critical mind is crucial to prevent manipulation, both by external forces and by our own internal biases? What if the gateway process was designed to control, not enlighten? Sharpen your critical thinking and become a master of discerning information, especially in the context of spirituality and altered states. Triangulate your sources and learn to spot logical fallacies. Check multiple sources, identify biases, and look for logical fallacies in arguments. Challenge your assumptions and maintain a level of healthy skepticism. Be open to alternative perspectives, but also maintain a healthy skepticism and avoid accepting claims without sufficient evidence. Have a solid ethical framework to help you on your journey. Develop your own ethical framework and apply it consistently in your life, ensuring that your actions align with your values and principles. Learn how to spot spiritual bypassing in yourself and in others to prevent delusion. Reflect on personal traumas that you are avoiding. Engage in self-reflection to identify areas where you might be avoiding difficult emotions or unresolved trauma and seek professional help if needed. Don't only focus on individual transformation. Help change systems that create inequality. Address systemic injustices and inequalities rather than simply focusing on individual transformation. Combine spirituality with real-world action and social responsibility. Integrate spirituality with practical action and social responsibility, using your knowledge and skills to create positive change in the world. Protect yourself from manipulation by setting boundaries and knowing your weaknesses. Set clear boundaries and understand your weaknesses. Be aware of your vulnerabilities and avoid situations that could compromise your autonomy. Protect your private information online. Be cautious about sharing personal information online and protect your privacy. Always trust your intuition. Cultivate your intuition and listen to your inner guidance, as it can provide valuable insights and warnings. Try a media fast to reset your perspective. Abstain from consuming news and social media for a set period, focusing instead on self-reflection, connecting with nature, and engaging in meaningful activities. Assess your relationship with media and technology during this break. Use this time to reflect on your relationship with technology and information and identify ways to use these tools more consciously and intentionally. Write in a journal and share your experience and insights with others. Encourage them to journal about their experiences and share their insights with others, fostering a sense of community and collective learning. We must stay committed to personal responsibility and always question the narratives being sold to us. Navigating these potential risks and ethical dilemmas requires a deep commitment to personal responsibility and a willingness to challenge conventional narratives. We must each take responsibility for our consciousness and the effect it has on the world. How can we cultivate individual agency and create a better world? How can we cultivate individual agency and ethical conduct to ensure that the exploration of consciousness leads to a more positive and equitable future for all? In the next section, we will learn how we can develop individual agency. What if the CIA document contains the keys? What if the key to unlocking individual agency, the very power to shape your life, lies in understanding that reality is not fixed but fundamentally subjective? Think about it. The world out there isn't simply imposed upon you. It's a personal construct, a reflection of your inner world filtered through your unique beliefs, perceptions, and experiences. While there is an objective reality, a shared space of existence, your access to it is always mediated by your consciousness. You don't experience reality directly, but rather a personalized version of it. This doesn't mean reality is arbitrary, a chaotic free-for-all where anything is possible. It means that you play an active role in co-creating your experience. Your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs are not passive observers. They are active participants in shaping the reality you perceive. So, if your reality is subjective, how much control do you truly have over your life? What are the limits of this personal power? Can you truly create anything you desire, or are there boundaries to this co-creation? Psychology offers compelling evidence for the subjective nature of reality. Our brains don't simply record the world as it is. They actively construct our experience. Sensory information is constantly being filtered and interpreted, leading to vastly different perceptions of the same event. For example, witness testimony is notoriously unreliable. Studies have shown that even in controlled experiments, people recall events differently, often filling in gaps with assumptions or memories influenced by their biases. The same car accident witnessed by 10 different people will result in 10 different accounts, each colored by their individual perspectives, emotional states, and pre-existing beliefs. Cognitive biases further distort our perceptions. Confirmation bias, for instance, leads us to seek out information that confirms our existing beliefs while filtering out contradictory evidence. This creates an echo chamber, reinforcing our subjective reality and making it difficult to see alternative perspectives. The halo effect causes us to form an overall impression of a person or thing based on a single positive trait, influencing our judgments in unrelated areas. A charismatic speaker can sway an audience not because of the strength of their arguments, but because of their perceived attractiveness or authority. These biases aren't flaws. They're shortcuts the brain uses to make sense of a complex world, but they can also trap us in limited and distorted versions of reality. Perhaps the most profound insight comes from the concept of predictive processing. Our brains are constantly anticipating and constructing our experience based on past experiences and expectations. The world you see, hear, and feel is not a direct feed from your senses, but a simulation generated by your brain, constantly updated based on incoming sensory data. This simulation is so convincing that you perceive it as reality itself. Imagine wearing noise-canceling headphones that also alter the colors you see and subtly shift the sounds you hear. You might not realize you're experiencing a modified reality, mistaking the artificial input for genuine perception. In the same way, your brain constructs a model of reality based on your past experiences and expectations, filtering and interpreting sensory information to fit that model. The placebo effect offers a tangible example of the mind's ability to influence physical health. Patients given a sugar pill, but believing it to be a real medication, often experience significant improvements in their condition. This isn't just about feeling better. Studies have shown that the placebo effect can trigger measurable physiological changes, such as the release of endorphins and the activation of immune cells. The placebo effect is not simply all in your head. It's a powerful demonstration of the mind's ability to shape the body's response to illness and injury. The power of positive thinking extends beyond just physical health. It enhances motivation, resilience, and success. People who believe in their ability to achieve their goals are more likely to persevere in the face of challenges, take calculated risks, and attract opportunities. Limiting beliefs, on the other hand, act as self-sabotage, preventing people from achieving their full potential. Eastern philosophy has long emphasized the subjective nature of reality. The Buddhist concept of Maya suggests that the world we perceive is an illusion, a veil that obscures the true nature of reality. This isn't to say that the world doesn't exist, but rather that our perceptions are not always accurate. Our senses and our minds are limited, prone to distortion, and easily misled. The Hindu concept of karma suggests that our thoughts and actions shape our future experiences. The energy you put out into the world comes back to you, creating a feedback loop that reinforces your subjective reality. This isn't about moral judgment or divine retribution. It's about the interconnectedness of cause and effect. Existentialism teaches individual freedom to create meaning in an absurd world, emphasizing individual responsibility and free will in the face of an indifferent universe. There are no preordained paths or inherent purposes. You are free to choose your own values and create your own meaning. The CIA was exploring ways to manipulate subjective reality through the gateway process. The document suggests that the agency was interested in techniques for altering consciousness, influencing perception, and potentially even manipulating reality itself. What if the gateway process was designed to unlock the power of subjective reality, not just for espionage or mind control, but for something far more profound? What if they believed they could alter the very fabric of reality through consciousness? The key is to become aware of your own beliefs, perceptions, and biases. Consciously choose beliefs that align with your desired outcomes. If you want to create a life filled with joy, abundance, and meaningful relationships, start by adopting beliefs that support those outcomes. If you believe you are worthy of love, you will attract loving relationships. If you believe you are capable of achieving your goals, you will be more likely to take the necessary action. The first step is self-awareness. Practice journaling to gain better self-awareness. Meditation and mindfulness can also help you observe your thoughts and emotions without judgment, allowing you to identify patterns and biases. Challenge the limiting beliefs that are holding you back. Limiting beliefs are the biggest obstacle. What if you could rewrite them? Do a belief audit to identify empowering beliefs from disempowering ones. Write down your beliefs, explore their origins, and challenge them to improve your thought processes. Ask yourself, where did this belief come from? Is it based on my own experiences or on the opinions of others? Is it serving me or is it holding me back? Once you've identified your limiting beliefs, create affirmations to reinforce positive beliefs. Repeat them daily. I am worthy of love and respect. I am capable of achieving my goals. I am in control of my life. These affirmations aren't just empty words, they are powerful tools for reprogramming your subconscious mind. Subjective reality can be overwhelming. It can be scary. What is real? What is true? How can you be sure that your perceptions are accurate? Can you truly create anything with total and utter freedom, or are there limitations? Where does individual perception and agency end, and universal objective truth begin? Is there a limit to subjective reality? In the next section, we will explore the potential limitations of subjective reality and how individual agency connects to universal objective truth. What if the answers are more complex than we ever imagined? What if the very empowerment you feel from understanding your subjective reality could become a gilded cage, isolating you from a larger truth? But what if our subjective bubble blinds us to a larger truth? Can focusing exclusively on your personal reality create a distorted worldview, limiting your ability to connect with others and contribute meaningfully to the world around you? True power isn't just about shaping your inner landscape. It's about harmonizing your personal vision with the shared reality we all inhabit. True power blends personal vision with empathy. How can we truly avoid the trap of solipsism and cultivate a balanced perspective that honors both our individual agency and our interconnectedness with the world? How can we acknowledge subjective reality without denying objective truth? To truly understand the potential pitfalls of unchecked subjective focus, we need to explore the philosophical concept of solipsism. Solipsism, if only your mind exists, what are the repercussions of such a perspective? At its core, solipsism is the idea that only one's own mind is sure to exist. It's a radical form of subjectivism, suggesting that the external world and other minds may not even be real, but simply constructs of your own consciousness. While exploring your subjective reality can be empowering, embracing solipsism can lead to a dangerous disconnect from the world and the people around you. Solipsism can foster a lack of empathy. Imagine a world where everyone believed they were the only real consciousness. How could you build a society? How could you have meaningful relationships? Throughout history, there have been examples of the dangers of solipsism. Think of the narcissistic leader who believes their own desires and ambitions are the only things that matter, leading to the exploitation and oppression of others. Consider the isolated individual who retreats into their own fantasy world, losing touch with reality and unable to form genuine connections. In literature, we see this explored in characters like Raskolnikov in Crime and Punishment, whose belief in his own superiority leads him to commit terrible acts, isolating him from humanity. These are extreme examples, but they highlight the potential for solipsism to lead to isolation, narcissism, and a lack of empathy. Psychology emphasizes the importance of empathy for a healthy mind. Our brains are wired for connection. Mirror neurons, for example, help us understand and share the emotions of others. Mirror neurons help people understand emotions. When we see someone smile, our mirror neurons fire as if we were smiling ourselves, allowing us to experience their joy. This is the foundation of empathy, the ability to understand and share the feelings of another. Social isolation, on the other hand, can have devastating consequences for our mental and emotional well-being. Social isolation can contribute to various mental health problems. Studies have shown that prolonged isolation can lead to depression, anxiety, and even cognitive decline. The lack of social interaction deprives us of vital emotional support, validation, and stimulation, leading to a sense of loneliness and despair. But studies show that helping others creates happiness. Altruism, acts of kindness and service to others, have been shown to increase happiness, reduce stress, and even improve physical health. When we focus on the needs of others, we shift our attention away from our own problems and connect with something larger than ourselves. Interconnectedness isn't just a concept, it's a scientific reality. At the quantum level, quantum entanglement shows a hidden connection at the subatomic level. Two entangled particles can become linked together in such a way that they share the same fate, no matter how far apart they are. If you measure the properties of one particle, you instantly know the properties of the other, even if they are light years away. This suggests a fundamental interconnectedness that transcends space and time. On a larger scale, ecosystems show all organisms have an effect on each other. Every organism plays a vital role in maintaining the health and balance of the whole. Remove one species, and the entire system can be disrupted. The Gaia hypothesis suggests that the Earth is one interconnected organism. It proposes that all living things on Earth are part of a self-regulating system that maintains the conditions necessary for life. The atmosphere, the oceans, the land, and all living organisms are interconnected and interact to create a stable and habitable planet. Compassion and service to others connects us to something larger. This contrasts sharply with the solipsistic worldview. Various spiritual and ethical traditions emphasize empathy, compassion, and service to others as essential paths to well-being and fulfillment. The Buddhist concept of dependent origination tells us that nothing exists in isolation. Everything arises in dependence on other things. Your existence is inextricably linked to the existence of everyone and everything else in the universe. The Golden Rule applies to our relationships with one another. This principle, found in various forms in almost every culture and religion, encourages us to treat others as we would like to be treated. It emphasizes the importance of empathy, compassion, and respect in our interactions with others. People who dedicate their lives to service make the world a better place. Think of Mother Teresa, who dedicated her life to serving the poor and sick in India, or Nelson Mandela, who fought against apartheid in South Africa. Their selfless actions had a profound impact on the world, inspiring millions and demonstrating the power of compassion and service. Cultivate compassion with empathy. Start by actively seeking out diverse perspectives. Make an effort to listen to people who have different backgrounds, experiences, and beliefs than your own. Practice active listening to put yourself in another's shoes. Ask questions, try to understand their point of view, and resist the urge to interrupt or judge. Challenge prejudices to grow your capacity for love. We all have biases and prejudices, often unconscious, that can limit our ability to connect with others. Become aware of your own biases and challenge them. Question your assumptions, seek out information that contradicts your beliefs, and be open to changing your mind. Take action. Everyone benefits when there is justice and equality. Donating time or money to causes you care about, volunteering in your community, or simply speaking out against injustice are all ways to make a difference. Even small acts of kindness can have a ripple effect, creating a more compassionate and just world. Try a perspective-taking experiment to understand others. Choose someone different than yourself to challenge your views. This could be someone from a different culture, religion, or political party, or someone who has a different life experience than you. Seek out their perspective by reading their writings, watching their interviews, or talking to them directly. As you engage with their perspective, try to imagine the world through their eyes. What are their hopes, fears, and challenges? What are their values and beliefs? How do they see the world differently than you do? Write about your experiences in a journal. Reflect on what you learned. How did your perspective shift? Did you gain a better understanding of the other person's point of view? Did you identify any of your own biases or prejudices? Balancing self-empowerment with empathy requires constant introspection. It's a continuous process of self-reflection, learning, and growth, and it's essential for creating a truly fulfilling and meaningful life and for contributing to a better world. But are there outside forces that manipulate this balance for their own agendas? Are we being subtly manipulated to be more self-focused and less connected? Are there entities, known or unknown, that seek to control the narrative and disconnect us from each other and objective truth? And are they actively influencing human consciousness? In the next section, we'll discuss conspiracy theories and psychological warfare. What if the battle for reality is not just within our minds, but a war waged for our minds? What if the feeling of being overwhelmed by the world is by design? What if that constant sense of unease, that nagging feeling that something isn't quite right, is not just a personal struggle, but a symptom of a larger manipulation at play? This manipulation, whether intentional or not, can range from subtle nudges in our daily lives to overt attempts to control our thoughts and beliefs. Understanding these potential influences is not about succumbing to paranoia. It's about equipping ourselves with the knowledge and tools to protect our minds, reclaim our individual agency, and cultivate a more authentic and fulfilling life. Are we truly sovereign beings, masters of our own thoughts and destinies, or are we merely puppets dancing to the tune of unseen forces working behind the scenes? Governments and corporations have long understood the power of propaganda and media manipulation. Think about it. How many times have you seen a news story that seemed designed to provoke a specific emotional response, whether it's fear, anger, or outrage? Consider the use of fake news and disinformation campaigns to sow division and confusion, making it harder to discern the truth. During the Cold War, both the United States and the Soviet Union engaged in extensive propaganda efforts to demonize the other side and promote their own ideologies. Cartoons, movies, and even children's books were used to indoctrinate populations and shape public opinion. These tactics are far from relics of the past. Disinformation campaigns are now waged online, spreading rapidly through social media and influencing elections. Corporations, too, employ sophisticated marketing techniques to exploit our psychological vulnerabilities, creating artificial desires and convincing us that we need their products to be happy or successful. Advertising relies on creating subtle associations, linking products to feelings of love, security, or status. What we desire and how we pursue it is being subtly shaped. Psychological warfare takes this manipulation a step further, targeting not just our beliefs, but our emotions, our sense of self, and our very ability to think clearly. The goal is to destabilize individuals and societies, undermining trust, creating fear, and sowing discord within communities. Gaslighting is a common tactic, where someone is made to question their own sanity and perception of reality. The constant denial of facts or the twisting of events can leave individuals feeling disoriented and vulnerable. Emotional manipulation, too, is a powerful tool used to exploit our vulnerabilities and control our behavior. Guilt tripping, threats, and other forms of emotional abuse can erode our self-esteem and make us more susceptible to external influence. Consider how politicians often use fear-mongering tactics to gain support for their policies, exaggerating threats and appealing to our deepest anxieties. Undermining trust, especially in institutions and authority figures, is a key element of psychological warfare. When people lose faith in the systems that are supposed to protect them, they become more susceptible to manipulation and control. Think of the constant barrage of negative news stories designed to create a sense of despair and hopelessness. But what about more subtle, esoteric forms of manipulation, those that operate outside the realm of conscious awareness? Subliminal messaging, for example, involves the use of stimuli that are below the threshold of conscious perception, yet still able to influence our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. These messages can be embedded in music, movies, or even advertising, bypassing our conscious defenses and planting suggestions directly into our subconscious minds. Consider the urban legends about subliminal messages in Disney movies, or the claims that certain rock songs contain hidden satanic messages. Neurolinguistic programming, or NLP, is another technique that aims to influence our subconscious mind through the use of language and other communication techniques. NLP practitioners believe that by understanding how our brains process information, they can manipulate our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. NLP techniques are often used in sales and marketing to create persuasive narratives and close deals. But here's where it gets really interesting. What if psychic influence or remote manipulation of consciousness is also possible? The idea that someone can influence your thoughts or actions from a distance might sound like science fiction, but there's a long history of interest in psychic phenomena, including within government agencies. Remember the CIA document we discussed earlier, the Gateway Process? Could it be that the agency was exploring ways to use these subtle or esoteric techniques to control or influence human consciousness on a grand scale? The Gateway Process outlines methods to alter consciousness and potentially access different dimensions of reality. But what if those methods could also be weaponized, used to manipulate individuals or even entire populations? So, how can we protect ourselves from these potential manipulations? The first step is to cultivate critical thinking skills and develop a healthy skepticism towards information, especially from mainstream media or authority figures. Become your own fact-checker. Don't blindly trust anything you read or hear. Always question the source, look for biases, and compare information from multiple sources. To combat misinformation, seek out diverse perspectives and always question the dominant narrative. Protecting yourself from psychological manipulation also requires setting emotional boundaries. Learn to recognize when someone is trying to gaslight you, guilt-trip you, or otherwise manipulate your emotions. Practice self-care and seek support from trusted friends or family members. Develop strong personal values and principles so that outside influences will not affect you. Self-awareness is key. Understand your own vulnerabilities, your own emotional triggers, and your own biases. The more you know yourself, the less susceptible you will be to external manipulation. Try a media detox to clear your head and gain clarity. Abstain from consuming news and social media for a set period, perhaps a week or even a month. Focus instead on self-reflection, connecting with nature, and engaging in meaningful activities. Examine your personal relationship with technology and how it affects you. Are you constantly checking your phone? Do you find yourself comparing your life to others on social media? How does technology affect your mood and your sense of self? Journal to organize your thoughts and create revelations that lead to action. Write down your thoughts and feelings and explore your relationship with information and technology. Manipulation loses its power in the face of awareness and collective intention. The more we understand these techniques, the better equipped we are to resist them and create a more authentic and fulfilling life. But is there something behind the manipulators? Is this power directed by something otherworldly? Who is controlling the controllers? In the next section, we will dive into the hidden dimensions that may be pulling the strings. What if the feeling that you are being watched isn't just paranoia? What if unseen forces are subtly manipulating our world, influencing our thoughts and actions from behind the scenes? Throughout history, cultures across the globe have told tales of non-physical beings, entities that dwell in shadows and whisper in our ears. Are we truly alone in the cosmos? Or is Earth a cosmic chessboard where unseen players move pieces according to rules we can't comprehend? Let's explore the shadowy realms of the possible. Gnostic texts speak of the archons, parasitic entities feeding on negative human emotions like fear and anger, using these emotions as sustenance to maintain their control. Imagine them as puppet masters, subtly provoking conflict and discord to amplify their food source. They sow the seeds of division, fueling hatred and animosity to keep humanity in a state of perpetual turmoil, since the Gnostics believed that the only way to weaken them was by mastering emotions. The more negative emotions we experience, the more power we give them, or so the Gnostics believed. Are these beings real, or are they simply metaphors for the darker aspects of human nature? Then there's the idea of interdimensional beings, entities existing in dimensions beyond our perception. String theory suggests that our universe is just one of many, each vibrating at a different frequency. Could these other dimensions harbor beings that can interact with our reality, influencing our thoughts and decisions in ways we can't detect? Think of it like radio waves. There are countless frequencies passing through you right now, but you only perceive the ones your radio is tuned to. Perhaps our senses are only tuned to a narrow band of reality, leaving us blind and deaf to these interdimensional influences. And what about the simulation hypothesis? The idea that our entire reality is a computer program run by an advanced intelligence. If this is true, then every aspect of our lives, from our thoughts and emotions to our physical experiences, could be controlled and manipulated by the programmers. Imagine yourself as a character in a video game, unaware that your every move is predetermined by lines of code. What if these programmers have their own agenda, using our simulated reality to run experiments, harvest energy, or simply for their own amusement? Beyond these esoteric theories, we have accounts of alleged encounters with extraterrestrial beings. Ufology, the study of unidentified flying objects, is filled with stories of alien abduction, often involving claims of mind control, implantation of devices, and genetic manipulation. What if these beings are not simply observing us, but actively interfering with our evolution, manipulating our DNA, and influencing our thoughts and behaviors? Some researchers suggest that these extraterrestrial beings are motivated by a desire for resources, others by a need to control our planet, and still others by a genuine interest in our well-being. What truly motivates them? The CIA's Gateway process aimed to explore altered states of consciousness and potentially access other dimensions. Was the agency also aware of these potential non-human influences? Was the Gateway process an attempt to understand these entities, to contact them, or perhaps even to defend against them? What if the agency was trying to develop techniques to counteract mind control or to protect our consciousness from external manipulation? But consider this. What if the CIA itself was manipulated by these entities? What if the agency's research was subtly guided or influenced by these beings, leading them down paths that ultimately served the entity's own purposes? It is possible that some individuals within the CIA were unwittingly acting as conduits for these unseen forces, furthering their agenda without even realizing it. It's easy to get carried away in fear and speculation when considering these theories. The key is to maintain a healthy dose of skepticism. Don't fall victim to paranoia or fear-mongering. Always question the source, look for biases, and consider alternative explanations. Is there a simpler, more rational explanation for what you're seeing or experiencing? Cultivate inner strength and resilience to resist potential manipulation regardless of its source. Develop a strong sense of self, grounded in your own values and beliefs. The stronger you are on the inside, the less susceptible you will be to external influence. Practice meditation and mindfulness to quiet the mind and connect with your inner wisdom. Develop your critical thinking skills, question everything, and seek out diverse perspectives. Take a moment each day to question your perceptions and assumptions. Ask yourself, am I truly in control of my thoughts and actions, or am I being influenced by something outside of myself? Identify potential sources of external influence in your life, such as the media, social media, or even the people you surround yourself with. Consciously choose your beliefs and values based on your own experiences and insights, rather than blindly accepting what others tell you. Decide what you stand for, what you believe, and live it every day. These questions about unseen entities and manipulation may be unsettling, but exploring these possibilities can empower us to reclaim our minds and our freedom. The ultimate source of power and control lies not in external forces, but in our own ability to choose our thoughts, beliefs, and actions. You have the power to change your life and the world. It's within you. But how can we, as individuals and as a collective, harness the power of consciousness to create a more positive and equitable future, regardless of the forces that may be working against us? In our next section, we will explore how we can utilize our consciousness to create a better world for us all, one built on a foundation of collective awareness and individual sovereignty. Beyond unseen entities pulling strings, what if the subjective experiences we've explored are intentionally engineered, not just by external forces, but by a sophisticated system designed to manage human consciousness itself? What if this system, if it exists, operates by subtly shaping our perceptions of reality, limiting our access to certain information, and meticulously directing our focus towards predetermined goals? The key is understanding that if such a system exists, recognizing it is essential to reclaiming our autonomy and finally breaking free from its invisible control. Are we truly free to choose our own path, or are we unknowingly playing out a script in a carefully constructed reality designed to keep us compliant and productive? Let's revisit The Matrix. Is it just a compelling sci-fi movie, or is it a reflection of a deeper, more unsettling reality? Think of the agents in The Matrix. Who are the agents in our world? Are they simply figures of authority, like law enforcement, or do they represent something more insidious, unseen forces acting to suppress dissent and maintain the established order? The Matrix operates by creating a simulated reality that is virtually indistinguishable from the real world, keeping its inhabitants blissfully trapped in ignorance. But here's the thing. In The Matrix, the system is deliberately concealed, invisible to those who are plugged in. Is it the same with our world? Do we also live in a system that hides itself from us, subtly influencing our thoughts and actions without our conscious awareness? What about the glitches in The Matrix, those fleeting moments where the underlying reality breaks through and reveals the illusion? Do glitches exist in our world too? What would those look like? A sudden sense of déjà vu, an inexplicable synchronicity, a moment of profound insight that shatters your perception of reality. Could an artificial intelligence be the architect of our reality, a silent puppeteer pulling the strings from behind the curtain? Consider the theories about the singularity, the hypothetical point in time when AI surpasses human intelligence. If AI were to achieve such a level of sophistication, could it create a global surveillance system that monitors and controls human behavior with unprecedented precision? Think about it. AI is already influencing our thoughts and actions through social media algorithms and personalized advertising. Every time you scroll through your feed, every time you click on an ad, you're being subtly programmed by an AI, nudged in a particular direction, shaped to fit a specific mold. Are you being programmed by an AI through the internet and social media? Look at AI systems that have demonstrated unexpected or emergent behavior, suggesting a potential for unintended consequences. AI is evolving at an exponential rate, far faster than we can fully comprehend. Are we truly ready for the implications of this technology, or are we sleepwalking into a future where our thoughts and actions are no longer our own? Social engineering has always existed. Look back at historical examples of manipulation. Throughout history, human societies have been manipulated through propaganda, fear-mongering, and the deliberate distortion of information. History is filled with examples of governments manipulating their citizens to create support for wars or political ideologies. Consider the concept of manufactured consent, the idea that public opinion can be shaped and controlled through the strategic dissemination of propaganda. Can consent be manufactured? Absolutely. Through carefully crafted narratives, emotional appeals, and the suppression of dissenting voices, those in power can influence the masses to accept policies and actions that may not be in their best interests. This isn't new. Relating these ideas back to the CIA document and the Gateway process, was the agency just exploring the nature of consciousness, or were they trying to understand or manipulate this potential system of control? Was the Gateway process designed to break through the illusion and access higher levels of reality? Or was it an attempt to harness the power of consciousness for more nefarious purposes? Did the Gateway process seek to find the key to unlock human potential beyond this world? Here's where it gets interesting. What if the CIA itself was infiltrated or influenced by those seeking to maintain control of the system? Who is really in charge? It's possible that the agency's research was subtly guided or influenced by these beings, leading them down paths that ultimately served the entity's own purposes. Did the CIA lose control? Question everything. That is the only true way to see the world for what it is. Develop a critical awareness of the forces that may be shaping your perceptions. Meditate and journal to grow your conscious awareness. Cultivate mindfulness and pay attention to your thoughts and emotions. Challenge the narratives that are being presented to you by the media, the government, and other institutions. Dig deeper and uncover the truth. Take responsibility for your own thoughts and beliefs and consciously choose to create your own reality. Here's an exercise. Pick apart a narrative, any narrative, and challenge its validity. Choose a common belief or assumption and dissect it, exploring its origins, its potential biases, and its impact on your life. Replace limiting beliefs with positive reinforcement through the use of affirmations. Consciously reprogram your mind with thoughts and beliefs that empower you to create the life you desire. The truth can be hard to hear, but it is the key to living a genuine life. These ideas about an engineered reality may be disturbing, but understanding these possibilities can empower us to reclaim our freedom and create a more authentic life. The power to transcend limitations lies within you. How can we design a new world? What does this new world look like? How can we break free from this potential system of control and create a new world based on our own values and aspirations? We will explore that concept next and explain how it can be made a reality where we are all truly free. What if ideas could control you? What if the very thoughts you believe are your own are actually carefully crafted programs, subtly shaping your perceptions and dictating your behavior? Welcome to the world of memes, cultural units of information that act as a form of subtle consciousness engineering. Like viruses, memes spread rapidly through populations, infecting minds and influencing beliefs, values, and actions. To be truly free, to reclaim your intellectual sovereignty, you must understand how memes operate, how they replicate, and how they can be used to manipulate you. Are you the creator of your thoughts, or are you simply a host, unknowingly spreading the memes that have taken root in your mind? Richard Dawkins coined the term meme, but what does it really mean? Dawkins defined memes as units of cultural transmission, analogous to genes in biological evolution. Think of it like this. Genes carry biological information, while memes carry cultural information. Just as genes adapt, replicate, and compete for survival, so too do memes. Memes replicate through imitation, learning, and social interaction. You see a behavior, you hear an idea, and you unconsciously adopt it, passing it on to others. The best memes aren't necessarily the best ideas, but rather the most infectious. They are the ones that are most easily remembered, most easily shared, and most emotionally resonant, regardless of their truth or value. Consider how a catchy jingle can stick in your head for days, even if you don't particularly like the product it's advertising. That's the power of a meme at work. Memes influence nearly everything, from fleeting fashion trends to deeply entrenched political ideologies. Look at fashion, where styles become popular not because they are inherently superior, but because they are widely imitated and amplified by social media. Political ideas spread like wildfire through the power of memes, with certain slogans and narratives gaining widespread acceptance, even if they are based on misinformation or half-truths. But the influence of memes doesn't stop there. Harmful memes normalize negative behaviors, subtly shaping our perceptions of what is acceptable and desirable. Consider how memes can promote smoking, drinking, or even violence, making these behaviors seem cool, rebellious, or even normal. These are all examples of memes operating beneath the surface of our conscious awareness. Can memes be weaponized? Absolutely. Governments and corporations can use memes to influence public opinion and promote their agendas, often without our conscious awareness. Think about carefully crafted political slogans or viral marketing campaigns designed to shape your perceptions and influence your behavior. Social media algorithms act as amplifiers for harmful memes, creating echo chambers and reinforcing existing beliefs, even if those beliefs are based on misinformation or prejudice. Memes can spread misinformation, manipulating the masses and leading to real-world consequences. Consider the spread of conspiracy theories online, which can incite violence and undermine trust in institutions. What they don't want you to know is that your mind is the battlefield, and memes are the weapons being used to control you. Now, think back to the CIA document and the Gateway process. Did the CIA see memes as a weapon to be wielded, a tool for influencing human behavior on a mass scale? Was the Gateway process designed to identify and neutralize harmful memes, or to create and spread beneficial memes, subtly shaping the collective consciousness in a desired direction? Or, perhaps even more disturbingly, could the CIA have become a tool of the memes themselves, unknowingly spreading their influence and serving their agenda? It's possible that the agency, in its quest to understand and control the human mind, inadvertently opened itself up to manipulation by these powerful cultural units. Become aware. What memes are you spreading? The first step to reclaiming your intellectual freedom is to become consciously aware of the memes that are shaping your thoughts and beliefs. The only way to disarm a meme is through critical thinking. Question your assumptions. Seek out diverse perspectives. Critically evaluate the information you consume. Don't blindly accept what you are told. Reject toxic memes. Choose your ideas wisely. Actively resist harmful memes, such as those that promote violence, hatred, or division. Instead, create good memes to counter the negative ones, promoting peace, love, and understanding. Here's a specific exercise you can try, a meme audit. Take a close look at your life and identify the dominant memes that are shaping your thoughts, beliefs, and actions. What ideas control you? Write them down. Where did you learn them? Are they serving you? Explore their origins. Identify alternative memes that would better serve you, empowering you to live a more fulfilling and authentic life. Consciously choose the memes you want to embrace and actively spread them through your words and actions. Become the change you wish to see in the world. If memes control us, are we truly free? What is the nature of free will in a world where our thoughts and beliefs are constantly being shaped by external forces? Beyond memes, does true, unfiltered reality exist? How do we break free and access the real world? In the next section, we explore how to live authentically in a world of memes and the possibility of transcending their influence to access a deeper, more authentic existence. What if your mind could be a fortress? In a world saturated with manipulation, harmful memes, and unseen influences, psychic hygiene is your ultimate defense, the secret to protecting your inner world. Psychic hygiene involves a set of practices designed to cleanse, protect, and strengthen your mind. Think of it as a mental immune system, shielding you from negative energies and manipulative ideas. It's not just about blocking negativity, but also cultivating inner peace, clarity, and unwavering resilience. So how can you cultivate psychic hygiene to protect yourself and create a more positive and fulfilling reality? The key is understanding the core components of psychic hygiene. It's a blend of ancient wisdom and modern psychological techniques designed to create a holistic defense for your mind. Mindfulness and meditation form the bedrock of psychic hygiene. By cultivating self-awareness and emotional regulation, you gain the ability to observe your thoughts and feelings without judgment. Imagine your mind as a clear lake. When the surface is calm, you can see all the way to the bottom. Meditation stills the surface, allowing you to observe the thoughts and emotions that would otherwise cloud your judgment. Emotional cleansing is also critical. Practices like journaling, therapy, and creative expression help you release pent-up emotions and process traumatic experiences. Think of it as detoxifying your mental space, removing the emotional debris that can weigh you down. Energetic boundaries are the fences around your mental garden. Setting clear boundaries with other people, media, and technology protects your mental space from unwanted influences. What they don't want you to know is that controlling your energy is controlling your reality. How can you incorporate these practices into your daily life? Start small. Set aside just 10 minutes each day for meditation. Even a brief period of mindfulness can dramatically shift your perspective. Practice gratitude daily, focusing on the positive aspects of your life. Gratitude creates a powerful shield against negativity. Limit your exposure to negative news and social media. These sources can be highly toxic to your mental health. Seek out uplifting and inspiring content instead. It's just like carefully selecting the food that nourishes your body. Consider the parallels between psychic hygiene and traditional hygiene practices. Just as you shower to cleanse your body, you must cleanse your mind. As you brush your teeth to prevent decay, you must protect your mind from negative influences. And just as you eat healthy foods to nourish your body, you must feed your mind with positive and uplifting content. Mental health is just as important as physical health, and psychic hygiene is the key to maintaining a healthy mind. The truth is, most people give more thought to their physical hygiene than their mental hygiene. Now, think back to the CIA document and the Gateway process. Was the agency, perhaps unknowingly, exploring methods of psychic self-defense? It's possible that the Gateway process, at its core, was an attempt at psychic hygiene, even if the CIA didn't fully realize it. Perhaps the CIA was trying to build a mental fortress, strengthening the mind's ability to resist external manipulation, even if it was also intended for offensive purposes. Some of the Gateway process techniques, such as visualization and affirmation, could certainly be used for psychic protection. Visualization, for example, can be a powerful tool for building a psychic shield, a mental barrier that deflects negative energies and harmful influences. Did the CIA stumble upon methods for controlling minds, but accidentally discover techniques for protecting them as well? The key is to remember that psychic hygiene is not a one-time fix, but an ongoing practice. It requires consistent effort and attention. Like any skill, it takes time and practice to master. Don't get discouraged if you don't see results immediately. The more you practice, the stronger your mental defenses will become. Experiment with different techniques and find what works best for you. Tailor your practice to your individual needs and preferences. There's no one-size-fits-all approach to psychic hygiene. What works for one person may not work for another. Set realistic goals and celebrate small successes along the way. This will help you maintain motivation and commitment. Think of it like learning a new language. You start with the basics and gradually build your vocabulary and grammar skills. Each small step forward is a victory to be celebrated. Here's a specific exercise you can try. a psychic shield visualization. Imagine yourself surrounded by a protective energy field, a radiant barrier that deflects negative influences. Visualize this shield as a bubble of light, a wall of energy, or any other image that resonates with you. Use this practice daily, especially before engaging in potentially stressful or overwhelming situations. Envision your psychic shield before going into a challenging meeting, attending a crowded event, or interacting with someone who tends to drain your energy. Customize your shield. Choose a color, shape, or image that resonates with you, making it uniquely your own. Imagine it shimmering and deflecting negative energy like water off a duck's back. Psychic hygiene provides a powerful defense against manipulation and negativity, but it's only the first step. What lies beyond the well-protected mind? What other dimensions are waiting to be explored? Can we move beyond protection and live in a state of pure being? In the next section, we'll explore higher consciousness, enlightenment, and the potential for union with the divine. Psychic hygiene fortifies your mind, but what lies beyond those protected walls? What if the ultimate frontier isn't defense, but transcendence? Psychic hygiene protects, but enlightenment transforms. What's beyond the shield? Enlightenment isn't about escaping the world, but about perceiving it with awakened eyes. It's not about detachment, but about deeper engagement, acting from a place of profound understanding and limitless compassion. It's not an exclusive club for gurus, but a potential inherent in every human being. It's a state accessible to all, regardless of background or belief system, though it demands unwavering dedication, relentless self-inquiry, and a willingness to dismantle deeply ingrained patterns. What does it truly mean to be enlightened, and how can we embark on this journey of self-discovery and transformation? Many paths wind toward the summit of enlightenment. Let's explore some of the most well-traveled. Eastern traditions, like Buddhism and Hinduism, emphasize meditation as a primary tool. Meditation isn't just about relaxation. It's about quieting the incessant chatter of the mind, creating space for deeper awareness to emerge. Think of it as stilling a turbulent lake, allowing the sediment to settle so you can see the bottom. Western mysticism, found in Kabbalah and Sufism, often seeks direct experience of the divine through intense contemplation and ecstatic practices. Kabbalah uses intricate symbolic systems to map the structure of reality and unlock hidden meanings, while Sufism employs music, dance, and poetry to induce altered states of consciousness. Psychedelics, used responsibly and intentionally, can act as catalysts for spiritual awakening, temporarily dissolving the boundaries of the ego and offering glimpses into expanded states of awareness. But tread carefully. The key is to avoid spiritual bypassing, using spiritual concepts to avoid dealing with unresolved emotional issues or practical challenges. True enlightenment isn't about escaping reality, but about transforming it. Integrate your spiritual insights into your daily life through ethical conduct, compassionate action, and unwavering commitment to truth. Despite their diverse approaches, these paths share common threads. Self-awareness is paramount, allowing you to recognize and transcend limiting beliefs and egoic patterns. Compassion for yourself and others dissolves the illusion of separation, fostering empathy and connection. Surrender, letting go of control and trusting the unfolding of life, allows you to align with a higher power. Self-awareness helps you identify and overcome your limitations. Compassion dissolves the illusion of separation. Surrender to the process. Trust the journey. Now, consider the CIA document and the Gateway process. Was the agency, perhaps inadvertently, exploring pathways to enlightenment? Could the Gateway process techniques, such as visualization and affirmation, be used to cultivate positive qualities and transform consciousness? Visualization, for example, can be a powerful tool for creating new neural pathways in the brain, rewiring your subconscious mind and shaping your reality. Affirmations, when repeated with conviction, can reprogram limiting beliefs and instill positive self-perception. Perhaps the CIA stumbled upon these principles without fully understanding their spiritual implications. Could the gateway process open portals to other realms? Think of it like tuning a radio. Here's where it gets interesting. What if the gateway process could facilitate out-of-body experiences and access to higher realms of consciousness? Some esoteric traditions teach that our consciousness is not limited to the physical body, but can travel to other dimensions and interact with other beings. Perhaps the CIA was attempting to map these realms, seeking to understand the nature of consciousness itself. Remember, psychic hygiene provides a solid foundation, but enlightenment takes you beyond protection into the realm of creation. Visualization and affirmation can be powerful tools for self-transformation. The truth is, the journey of enlightenment is a deeply personal one. Find your path. Explore and experiment with different practices to find what resonates with you. Integrate enlightenment principles into your everyday life through mindful communication, loving kindness meditation, and acts of service. Practice mindful communication by listening deeply to others, speaking with honesty and compassion, and avoiding gossip and judgment. Engage in loving kindness meditation, cultivating feelings of love, compassion, and goodwill towards yourself, your loved ones, and all beings. Perform acts of service, offering your time, energy, and resources to help those in need. Stay humble. The ego can derail your progress. Maintain a grounded and balanced perspective, integrating spiritual insights with practical action and ethical conduct. Recognize the potential for ego inflation, where you become convinced of your own superiority or specialness. Be wary of spiritual bypassing, using spiritual concepts to avoid dealing with difficult emotions or practical challenges. Avoid the pursuit of power, recognizing that true power comes from within, not from external control. Live your enlightenment through mindful actions. Here's a specific exercise, a loving kindness meditation. Cultivate feelings of love, compassion, and goodwill towards yourself, your loved ones, and all beings. Begin by focusing on yourself, repeating phrases such as, "May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful, and at ease. May I be happy." Then extend these feelings to your loved ones, repeating the same phrases. Next, extend these feelings to all beings, including those who are suffering or who you find difficult to love. Use this meditation daily. Open your heart to the world. Enlightenment is a journey, not a destination, a continuous process of self-discovery, transformation, and service. Extend compassion to those who are suffering. It can heal the world. Is enlightenment the end? What if there's something more, but we're just scratching the surface? What if even beyond enlightenment, there may be deeper levels of reality and more profound mysteries to explore? What is the true nature of reality? What is our ultimate purpose? In the next section, we will explore the very fabric of reality and our place in the cosmos. Even with enlightenment, are we seeing the full picture? What if absolute reality is beyond human comprehension, a realm forever beyond the grasp of even the most expanded consciousness? Even at our peak, is what we're experiencing simply a limited interpretation of something bigger, something so vast and complex that our minds can only process a fraction of it? Humility is key, because our understanding might be fundamentally incomplete. Our brains, for all their power, might be akin to a child trying to understand the entirety of the internet with only a rudimentary understanding of electricity. We can access and use parts of it, but the underlying architecture, the sheer scope of it, remains beyond our full comprehension. What lies beyond? Can our minds ever grasp the truth? Science tells us that our senses are limited. Our brains filter everything. We perceive reality through the lens of our 5 senses, but science has revealed that these senses capture only a tiny fraction of the information available. Visible light is a small portion of the electromagnetic spectrum. There is so much more that we can't see, from radio waves and microwaves to infrared and ultraviolet light. Our eyes, our ears, our skin, they're all tuned to specific frequencies, filtering out vast amounts of data that exist all around us. It's like listening to a single instrument in a symphony orchestra, missing the richness and complexity of the entire composition. Our brains anticipate and build reality, which has distortions. The brain doesn't passively record information. It actively constructs our reality based on past experiences, expectations, and beliefs. It fills in gaps, makes assumptions, and interprets sensory input based on pre-existing patterns. This process, while efficient, can also lead to distortions and biases. Optical illusions remind us that our perception is not always accurate. What you see isn't always what's there. The brain creates a story, and that story becomes your reality. But is that story the ultimate truth? Philosophy and spirituality often question the true nature of reality. Hinduism and Buddhism tell us that the world is Maya, or illusion. Zen Buddhism values unknowing and intuition over logic. Mystics have been telling us for centuries that we can transcend the limitations of the human mind. These traditions suggest that our perceived reality is an illusion created by our limited minds, a veil that obscures the true nature of reality. They advocate for practices like meditation and mindfulness to quiet the mind, transcend the ego, and access a higher state of awareness. The goal is to see beyond the illusion, to perceive reality directly, without the filters of our thoughts and beliefs. Mathematics and physics give us clues, but can we ever fully understand them? String theory suggests higher dimensions and a multiverse, which our brains struggle to comprehend. Math can reveal patterns unseen to the naked eye. These fields offer glimpses into aspects of reality that are beyond our direct sensory experience, hinting at a universe far stranger and more complex than we can imagine. But can we ever fully grasp the implications of these theories? Are we limited by our own cognitive structures? What could absolute reality even be like? We may never know. Perhaps absolute reality is pure consciousness or unified energy. Our world could be a tiny piece of something far grander. Maybe absolute reality is a state of pure consciousness, infinite potential, or ultimate unity, a realm where all things are interconnected and all possibilities exist simultaneously. Maybe our perceived reality is just a tiny fragment of a much larger and more complex whole, a single ripple in an infinite ocean of existence. Embrace the mystery. The journey is the reward. Cultivate a sense of wonder and curiosity about the unknown, embracing the mystery of existence rather than seeking definitive answers. Question your assumptions and seek new experiences to remain open. Approach every experience with beginner's mind. See the world with new eyes. This means questioning your assumptions, challenging your beliefs, and seeking out new perspectives. Engage in creative exploration, experimenting with different forms of art, music, and self-expression. Accept uncertainty and fear. You don't need all the answers. Don't let the existential anxieties and uncertainties that can arise when contemplating the nature of reality overwhelm you. Instead, approach these feelings with self-compassion and acceptance. Recognize that it's okay not to have all the answers and that the journey of exploration is just as valuable as the destination. Focus on the now. Our reality is beautiful, even if it is limited. Appreciate the beauty and wonder of our perceived reality, even if it is just a limited interpretation of something greater. Find joy in the simple things, in the connections we share, and in the present moment. Practice beginner's mind. See the world with new eyes. Approach a familiar object or situation with fresh eyes, trying to see it as if you were experiencing it for the first time. A simple houseplant, a familiar walk, a conversation with a friend. See the beauty in the mundane. Reclaim your sense of wonder. We may never see absolute reality, but the search itself is transformative. Perhaps the pursuit of the unknowable will allow our consciousness to evolve. What is our destiny in the cosmos? What will we become? In our final section, we'll look at where we go from here, to the very edge of the universe and beyond. What if consciousness isn't just something we have, but something we're part of? The universe we perceive, with all its complexity and grandeur, might not just be a collection of inert matter and energy. It may be something far more profound. a single, unified field of consciousness, a vast and interconnected mind of which we are all individual expressions. If the universe is fundamentally conscious, then human consciousness isn't just a random byproduct of biological processes. It's a microcosm reflecting the macrocosm, a tiny spark of the universal mind holding immense creative potential. We're not just in the universe is in us. We are reflections of something immense. Think about it. Our brains, with their billions of neurons firing in complex patterns, mirror the intricate structures of galaxies and nebulae. Our thoughts and emotions, our hopes and dreams, may be ripples in the fabric of this universal consciousness. But here's the thing. If the universe is indeed a conscious entity, it means that human evolution isn't just a matter of survival of the fittest. It's a process of the universe becoming more self-aware through us. Our capacity for self-reflection, for abstract thought, for empathy and compassion may be the universe waking up to itself, bit by bit. We are the universe's way of understanding itself. What if our choices are the universe making choices? What does that mean for us? If this is true, how does this change our understanding of free will, destiny, and our responsibility within the grand scheme? Does the universe have a plan? Are we simply puppets in a cosmic drama, or do we have the power to shape our own destinies, and by extension, the destiny of the universe itself? The implications are staggering. The idea of a conscious universe isn't new. It's echoed through history. The concept of panpsychism, the view that consciousness is a fundamental and ubiquitous feature of reality, has roots stretching back to ancient Greece. The Stoics, for instance, believed that the cosmos was a living, rational being imbued with intelligence and purpose, and so did the ancient Vedic texts. Advaita Vedanta, a school of Hindu philosophy, posits that Brahman, the ultimate reality, is pure consciousness, and that the entire universe is an expression of this consciousness. How do you solve the mind-body problem? Panpsychism offers an answer. For centuries, philosophers have struggled with the hard problem of consciousness. How can subjective experience arise from purely physical processes? How can matter, which seems inherently devoid of consciousness, give rise to feelings, thoughts, and sensations? Panpsychism offers a potential solution by suggesting that consciousness isn't something that emerges from matter, but rather something that is inherent in it. Every particle, every atom, every molecule possesses some minimal degree of consciousness. These minuscule units of consciousness combine to form more complex forms of awareness, culminating in the rich subjective experiences of living beings. Modern philosophers continue to develop and defend panpsychism. Thinkers like David Chalmers and Philip Goff are reviving and refining panpsychist thought, arguing that it offers a more coherent and parsimonious explanation of consciousness than traditional materialism. They point to the limitations of purely physical explanations and suggest that consciousness may be a fundamental property of the universe, alongside mass, charge, and spin. But what does this mean for our understanding of reality? Quantum physics is also challenging traditional views about what is real. The observer effect reappears here. Does our observation create reality? Quantum mechanics, with its bizarre and counterintuitive phenomena, has forced physicists to reconsider the nature of reality itself. The observer effect, in which the act of measurement seems to influence the behavior of quantum systems, suggests that consciousness may play a more fundamental role in the universe than previously thought. Quantum entanglement suggests that everything is fundamentally connected. When two particles become entangled, they remain connected regardless of the distance separating them. If you measure the properties of one particle, you instantly know the properties of the other, even if they are light years apart. This suggests a non-local interconnectedness of all things, a web of relationships that transcends space and time. Think of it like this. The universe may be a vast, interconnected network of consciousness, where every part is intimately linked to every other part. Could consciousness be a fundamental force of nature? Some theorists are exploring the possibility that consciousness is not just a byproduct of physical processes, but a fundamental property of reality, a force that shapes the behavior of matter and energy. Quantum consciousness suggests that consciousness might be woven into the very fabric of space-time. But what if the CIA stumbled upon proof of a conscious universe? Could the Gateway process have been a method to connect with this consciousness? The CIA document and the Gateway process might offer a clue. Perhaps the agency was unknowingly tapping into this fundamental universal consciousness, exploring the potential for human beings to directly access and interact with this vast field of awareness. The Gateway process, with its techniques for altering states of consciousness and accessing non-ordinary realities, may have inadvertently stumbled upon a way to bypass the limitations of the individual mind and connect with the universal mind. The CIA may have been closer to unlocking the secrets of consciousness than they ever realized. Did the CIA misinterpret their own findings? It's possible that the CIA misinterpreted their own findings, attributing these experiences to individual abilities rather than to a connection with a universal mind. Perhaps they saw the Gateway process as a way to enhance human potential, to unlock hidden powers within the individual, rather than recognizing it as a method for tapping into a larger, more fundamental consciousness. The key is, the CIA was exploring the nature of reality itself. You are not just a spectator, you are a player in the evolution of the universe. The implications of this are profound. It means that you are not just a passive observer in a deterministic universe, but an active participant in a conscious and evolving cosmos. Your thoughts, your feelings, your actions all contribute to the unfolding of reality. You have the power to shape your own destiny, and by extension, the destiny of the universe itself. Reconnect with nature, practice awareness, and express creativity. So how can we cultivate a deeper connection with this universal consciousness? Spend time in nature, immersing yourself in the beauty and wonder of the natural world. Practice mindfulness, paying attention to your thoughts and feelings without judgment. Engage in acts of creativity and compassion, expressing your unique gifts and talents in service to others. These are all ways to align yourself with the flow of the universe, to tap into the source of all creation. Act with intention, because your actions change everything. But here's the truth. With this recognition comes a great responsibility. If we are indeed active participants in a conscious universe, then our choices and actions have far-reaching consequences. It's crucial to act with intention, with integrity, and with a deep sense of respect for all living beings. The universe is watching, and our actions are shaping the future of reality itself. Be open to new ideas. Learning never ends. It's important to embrace uncertainty and remain open to new possibilities as our understanding of the universe continues to evolve. Don't cling to fixed beliefs or dogmatic ideologies. Be willing to question your assumptions, to challenge your preconceptions, and to explore new perspectives. The universe is full of surprises, and the more open you are to new ideas, the more you will discover. Reflect on your role in the vastness of the universe and be humbled. Here's a specific exercise you can try, a universe reflection practice. Spend some time contemplating the vastness and complexity of the universe, recognizing your own small but significant place within it. Imagine the countless galaxies, the billions of stars, the intricate web of life on Earth. Allow yourself to feel awe. You are a part of something incredible. Use this practice to cultivate a sense of awe and wonder, as well as a deeper appreciation for the interconnectedness of all things. Realize that you are not separate from the universe, but an integral part of it. You are a cell in the body of God, a wave in the ocean of consciousness. Contemplating such a concept can be awe-inspiring, but what is our place in this vast design? Exploring the concept of a conscious universe can be both inspiring and overwhelming, raising profound questions about the nature of existence and our place within it. It challenges our assumptions, disrupts our beliefs, and forces us to confront the fundamental mysteries of reality. Our evolution may shape the destiny of the universe. What future will we create? Human consciousness may play a critical role in the future evolution of the universe. Our choices and actions may have far-reaching consequences, shaping not just the destiny of our own species, but the destiny of the entire cosmos. The stakes are high, and the responsibility is immense. How can we ensure a brighter future for all? How can we collectively harness the power of human consciousness to create a more positive and sustainable future, not just for ourselves, but for the entire universe? This is the challenge that lies before us, and it is a challenge that demands our attention, our creativity, and our unwavering commitment. In our conclusion, we will give you the tools and insights to continue this journey. In the final section, we will summarize key insights, offer actionable steps, and encourage you to continue exploring these profound questions. The journey is far from over, and the adventure is just beginning. After all this exploration, the underlying nature of reality may remain fundamentally beyond our complete grasp, but our response is what truly matters. It's not about definitively solving the unsolvable mysteries of the universe, but about how we choose to act in the face of this inherent uncertainty. What truly matters are the choices, actions, and intentions that define us. How do we live meaningfully, ethically, and powerfully in a universe that may always remain, at its core, a mystery? Let's explore the philosophical concept of aporia. Aporia represents a philosophical impasse where contradictory arguments lead to a point of irresolvable paradox. It suggests that some questions may not have definitive answers. Think about it. Does absolute truth exist? Is free will an illusion? Can we ever truly know anything with complete certainty? These are examples of aporia in ethics, metaphysics, and epistemology, illustrating the limits of human reason. Embracing aporia can lead to intellectual humility and a greater appreciation for diverse perspectives. It means recognizing that we may not have all the answers, and that's okay. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't try to understand the world around us. We can find some clarity in ethical frameworks. These frameworks can assist with understanding and help guide our decisions. Consider virtue ethics. Virtue ethics emphasizes the importance of cultivating inner qualities, such as compassion, wisdom, and courage, to guide our actions. It suggests that by developing these virtues, we can make better choices, even in the absence of absolute certainty. Think of it like this. If you strive to be a compassionate person, you're more likely to act in ways that benefit others, even when you're unsure of the right thing to do. Deontology, on the other hand, focuses on following universal moral principles, regardless of the consequences. It's about adhering to a code of conduct, even when it's difficult. For example, a deontologist might argue that lying is always wrong, even if it could prevent harm in a particular situation. Consequentialism dictates the need to consider possible outcomes to make an informed decision. It emphasizes the importance of considering the potential outcomes of our actions when making ethical decisions. A consequentialist might argue that lying is acceptable if it leads to a better outcome overall. But here's the thing. These frameworks often conflict with each other. Let's relate these concepts back to the CIA document and the Gateway process. Even the agency, with its access to classified information and advanced technologies, ultimately reached the limits of what it could definitively know about the nature of reality. Did the CIA encounter something unexplainable, a sign that they were hitting the wall? It's possible that the CIA's exploration of altered states of consciousness led them to encounter phenomena that defied easy explanation, forcing them to confront the limits of human understanding. The CIA's actions raise the ethical question about using advanced knowledge to control or manipulate human consciousness. But here's the truth. The ethical implications of the CIA's actions, regardless of their ultimate success or failure in understanding reality, highlight the importance of acting with responsibility and integrity, even in the face of uncertainty. Focus on what matters the most and develop the traits that create positive change. Cultivate inner virtues, such as compassion, wisdom, and courage, as a way to navigate the uncertainties of life and to make choices that align with your highest values. Do kind things for others. This will change your perception. Practice mindfulness, paying attention to your thoughts and feelings without judgment. Engage in acts of kindness, helping those in need. Challenge yourself to step outside of your comfort zones, trying new things and pushing your boundaries. These practices can help you cultivate compassion, wisdom, and courage. Always act with integrity and authenticity. No matter what, act in alignment with your values, even when faced with difficult or ambiguous situations, emphasizing the importance of integrity and authenticity. Be true to yourself and let your actions reflect your beliefs. Remain open and understand that there are infinite possibilities. Embrace uncertainty and remain open to new possibilities as our understanding of ourselves and the universe continues to evolve. Don't be afraid to question your assumptions, to challenge your beliefs, and to explore new ideas. Clarify your values, what is important to you. Meditate on this. Here's a specific exercise, a values clarification practice. Identify your core values and reflect on how you can better embody those values in your daily life. Take action. What changes can you make? Write down your values, exploring their origins, and identifying specific actions you can take to live in greater alignment with those values. For example, if you value honesty, you might commit to being more truthful in your interactions with others. If you value compassion, you might volunteer your time to help those in need. We may not have solved the mysteries of the universe, but we've explored a lot of incredible ideas. You have the power to create and contribute to a positive future. Reiterate the power of individual choice and action, emphasizing that each of us has the potential to shape our own reality and to contribute to a more positive future for all. What can you do next? It's time to take action. Imagine a world transformed. Our journey will continue to the end. What awaits us in this final part? So, as we reach the end of this exploration, we find ourselves standing at the intersection of declassified intelligence, ancient wisdom, and cutting-edge science, a place where the boundaries of what we thought was real begin to blur. The journey has been complex, filled with questions that may not have easy answers and concepts that challenge the very foundations of our understanding. Remember, the point of this journey wasn't to provide you with all the answers, but to encourage you to question everything. We've journeyed from the seemingly dry pages of a CIA document to the profound depths of human consciousness, exploring the agency's unexpected interest in phenomena that defy conventional explanation. We have seen how these explorations resonate with esoteric traditions stretching back millennia, traditions that speak of a reality far more malleable and interconnected than our everyday senses perceive. We've touched upon the mind-bending implications of quantum physics, suggesting that observation itself plays a role in shaping reality. The CIA document, Quantum Physics, Esoteric Concepts. The key takeaway is that you have the potential to shape your reality through your thoughts, beliefs, and actions. This exploration, in truth, reflects something far larger than just a single document or a few scientific theories. It echoes the universal quest for knowledge, the relentless human drive to understand ourselves and the world around us. It is a journey into the heart of what it means to be conscious, to be aware, and to be alive in a universe that is both infinitely mysterious and intimately connected to us. Ultimately, this exploration calls upon us to consider what it truly means to be human and what our role is in the grand tapestry of existence. It reminds us that we are not merely passive observers, but active participants in the unfolding story of the cosmos. This is but a small piece of an even larger puzzle. But here's the thing. The power to shape your reality doesn't come from a government document or a scientific equation. It comes from within you. It's about tapping into your own inner resources, your own inherent capacity for awareness, intuition, and creativity. Remember, the answers you seek are not out there, hidden in secret files or esoteric texts. They are in here, waiting to be discovered in the depths of your own consciousness. That power has always been inside of you. Now is the time to unleash it. So, what does this all mean for you, moving forward? It means embracing the power of curiosity, the willingness to question, and the courage to explore the unknown. It means taking responsibility for your own thoughts, beliefs, and actions, knowing that they have a ripple effect on the world around you. To continue this journey, explore meditation, dream journaling, and mindfulness techniques. What possibilities might unfold for you? Imagine the possibilities that open up when you embrace your full potential and consciously shape your reality. Think of it like this. Your mind is like a garden. Your thoughts are the seeds. You can grow flowers or weeds. Now it's time to decide what steps you will take to begin applying these principles in your daily life. Share your thoughts, questions, and experiences in the comments below. Let's continue this conversation together. Explore the links in the description for more information. What kind of reality will you create? Remember, the power to shape your reality is in your hands. You are the master of your destiny. Don't forget that now is the time to awaken your consciousness. Step into your power. Thank you for joining me on this incredible journey of discovery. Thank you for watching. Until next time, keep questioning.